2, 3, 4. Okay, you wouldn't believe how many times I've had to play that today to get it even reasonable for a take. Considering I don't usually have to think about it, sometimes this happens when you're teaching, you break something down and you start thinking about the little details and it gets a little trickier. But that's okay, we're here, we're going to work through it. This is about you learning it. And obviously I want to do as good a job of that as possible. Now, if you have been a fan of my channel for a long time, consider jumping over to the Patreon and having a look for a couple bucks a month. You get all the transcriptions and stuff, but as I always say, you can learn these without those. That's just a way you can give something back. Otherwise, if you're not in that position, this is my contribution to you. You can learn this and you just use the video. So with all that said, a few little notes for the lesson. Scotty Moore was a big Chet Atkins fan, and when he was pelvic thrusted into stardom with Elvis, that sounds really odd, he didn't really have time to refine his style. So when I talk about this particular style of playing, I kind of think of it as a bit like a Chet Atkins style, but without that accuracy, which is kind of a really cool thing. It's certainly not a criticism. But interestingly enough, later down the track, if you listen to Scotty Moore's recordings, you will find that he became more precise and his lines got more even and accurate. And it's funny because Brian Setzer talks about, I kind of do the Scotty Moore thing. In the end, Scotty Moore didn't even do the Scotty Moore thing. He actually continued developing that bass line. And being a Chet picker, I love that consistency. I'm totally okay with it not being perfectly accurate. It really doesn't matter. But just me personally, I like to kind of get that thumb really rolling along. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you a very, very accurate version of how Scotty Moore played it. But what's going to happen is I'm going to show you how we can move that towards the Chet side of things, and from there you can vary it yourself. That's the beauty of it if you learn it accurately. It's much easier to relax and loosen it up than it is to get it sort of really precise with that bass line. So the first bar of this one, we pick the 5th string, we pluck the 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st all together whilst holding this A chord. As I mentioned in the previous lesson, this by the way is the 3rd lesson on this, so check out the other 2 if you're interested on my channel. We're back at the at the 1st fret here. If we play an F chord, we can take that right up there. That's an A chord. So we pick the 5th string, pluck the 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. We pluck the 6th string like that. So 1, 2, 3, and at this point we'll put our pinky down and we pluck upwards like that. So 1, 2, 3, and then we finish the bass line there on the 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now at this point, so that by the way is an A6 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We come up to the 9th fret here, just like that. And we're playing a D-shaped chord right up there. Scotty Moore was right across these and used them very, very well. So we come up to the A chord up here. We slide into it like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. We then, so I'm 9 on the 3rd, 9 on the 1st, and my 2nd finger's playing the 10. Sort of slide into it. My thumb then plays the 3rd string. And then we play the 12 on the 1st string. And then from there, okay, so we're hitting the 3rd, we're sort of, I pull my finger up on the 1st string there, just like that, and I take that finger off, I sort of flick up again, I have to really think about this, and then I strum down with the pick. It's up to you how you execute that, as long as you get those notes. So we lift, we expose that 9 again, we finish on that 10 after we hit that 9 again. Sorry, I'm not doing the best job with this, hang on. Okay, hope that makes sense. Repeat that. The last time along, we So if you're using a thumb pick here, I'd start that strumming with the up because it's just on the offbeat. Okay, so we're just holding 9th on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd, and 12 on the 1st. Just basically what we're doing before, we just hold it down instead of coming off it and going back to those other 2 strings. So okay, now we move to a D chord, just like that there, okay? We've just come off that chord there, we move to the D chord and we pick the 5th string, and that gives us time to get that chord settled. So you hit that note, we get these fingers in place, then we pluck the 4th, 2nd and 1st together. However you want to use your fingers, totally up to you. 1, 2, we hit the 6th string, which we need to get that 1st finger over to. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and I'm plucking the 2nd string, and I'm plucking the 3rd string. That D chord is 5 on the 5th, 7 on the 4th, 7 on the 3rd, 7 on the 2nd, okay? And my fingers catching that there too. And I also like to hold that 6th string at the 5th fret too. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4, just like that, okay? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now you'll notice on the 4, I'm using my finger to pluck that 3rd, and I'm not using the thumb pick. If I want to keep that strict rhythm, I'd actually, just like that, I'd actually bring that in as well. I kind of left it off for this one because it just felt awkward to put it in, strangely. Often I find it's easier to automate that bass line and just keep the thing going, but I don't know, I like that little bit of awkwardness there from Scotty Moore, and I wanted to keep it authentic, I guess. So after that bar, it gets a little tricky here, so I'll do that bar again. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next bar goes so what we're doing there, we're pinching 5th, 2nd and 1st together, then we're picking the 4th and 2nd, and I pull my pinky off, okay? Then we go back to the 6th, then we return to the 4th and 2nd with a pinch like that, but we put our pinky back. Okay, so if you're not clear on that, don't forget, you're on YouTube, just scroll back, have a listen to me, take you through that again. So in the next bar, we repeat the same thing for the first bit. So with 5th string, 4th, 2nd and 1st, whilst holding a D chord, hit the 6th string, pull the 2nd string, pull the 3rd, okay? So pick, I should say, or pluck. Just the same as before. And now this bar, we go to a D9 chord. And you can see, if you've learnt last week's lesson, you can see some of the differences here with, you know, even the little chord movements and stuff. It's not as uniform. This moves around a little bit more. So definitely a bit more challenging. So from the D9 chord, we hold the 5th fret, 4th fret, 5th and 5th. Okay, we've just come off. Oh, hang on. And we jump to this and we pinch at the same time. So that's tricky. Hang on, let me do that right. Okay. So again, I've ditched the little bass note there in the name of authenticity, but I would almost naturally play that. So we do our pinch, we pluck the 4th string, we pluck up on the 3rd and 2nd, we come back to the 6th string, and then I'm just using my 2 fingers to pluck the 3rd and 2nd again. I would probably, if I was not thinking about that, actually go, I'd actually bring the thumb in there and use it on the 4th string as well, so just like that. But if you want to do it a bit looser, okay. So the bars from D at this point. And then we're moving to the E chord now. And this one I've really kept that alternating line through. So we're holding an E9, just like the D9. Okay, so we're going 7, 6, 7, 7, and my pinky's getting that 7 as well, or you might just put your third right across. So we pick the 5th string, we pick the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd together, just like that. We go to the 6th string and we bring our 2nd finger over. We did that in the last bar, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, so apologies. So if you're scratching your head, you need to get that finger over and wait for the moment. Now, don't do it early and don't leave it there for too long. Watch this. Sorry, you do want to leave it there. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So we hit the 6, we pluck the 3rd string, and we bring that thumb down on the 4th string like that. Then we do 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. We pick the 4th string, and then the pinky drops down on the 1st string on the 9th fret. So this is challenging. I'm going to go from where that E started. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3. So after we do this, get your thumb picked to there, to the 6th string. 2nd finger comes over to the bass note there on the 6th string, and then we actually pull these 3 strings again and finish. We pull those 3 strings again, but we ditch the pinky, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna do that again. That's it right there. Okay, this is the most challenging bit, guys. If you can do this, you should probably start looking at some Chet Atkins stuff. You might already be there, in fact. That's challenging, and that's not easy. So we're picking 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st together. We pluck the 4th string. We pull the 1st, 2nd, 3rd finger on the top 3 strings with the pinky on the 9th fret. Bring that bass note over, pick that, pick with these fingers again, and bring the thumb down on that 4th string, just like that, okay? It's a hard bar. Come on, I'm thinking about it again. You know, I don't mind making mistakes when I'm doing these tutorials because I'm happy for you guys to see that they're difficult and you have to work on it. And don't get frustrated if it doesn't come to you right away. You might tackle a bar a day. You might tackle a bar for a week. It doesn't really matter. If it took you, let's say there's 12 bars, I think there's more in this, but if there were 12 bars, if it took you 12 weeks to play it, but you couldn't play it 12 weeks ago, would that really be a big deal? I think it'll be fantastic because it means you can play like Scotty Moore. At any point in your life is a wonderful thing, so even if it takes a year. See my point? Oh, hang on. All right, so to finish this off, okay, so we've just come off... we can literally just repeat those bars there on the E chord. Just like that, okay? We're just going to repeat that twice. Now, there is some variation in the song, but I didn't want to give you guys nightmares, or give myself nightmares. And then we come back to the A chord. So what I did here is I've kind of given you an idea of the ending of the song, because otherwise you're just back to that regular kind of pattern which you would have picked up from the first few bars. So what I've done here after we play the E9... that you've already done, exactly the same as the first bar. Then what I've done here is I've plucked the 5th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st like that. Then I actually instantly pluck the 3rd and 2nd again. So we pluck these, and then I hammer the pinky as I strike the 4th string. So and just finish like that. So it ends up being. Again, this is one of those things I've put in the tutorial, and now that I'm trying to explain it, it's like, that's hard. I've probably been doing it wrong for all these years. So I'll do that one more time a little slower, for my sake. Whew, thank God. May as well have been doing that live right then, because I'm sure as hell not going to have time to make another take of that today. Thank God I got that right. So that last bit there, I guess I already spoke you through it. I hope that is all making sense. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. And by the way, guys, do me a huge favor, like the video. I mean, if they're getting 500 views and 500 likes, I think YouTube will look a lot more favorably. At the moment, I might get 500 views and 50 likes. So if maybe a few more than 1 in 10 of you can click that like button, you'll really help me out. Okay, that would be really cool. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. There's going to be one more lesson on the Scotty Moore series. I've decided to do a little feature on some of his guitar solos, or perhaps one of his guitar solos that incorporates a lot of his skills. So subscribe, okay, because that'll be coming out soon. And of course, check out the Patreon if you're a fan. And there's a lot of good things coming as well, by the way, from merch to competitions, all kinds of stuff. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed making it. I'll see you guys in the next video.